Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is lesson 2, so if you've missed lesson 1, I will put that at the top of the screen for you. Make sure that you watch that as well, so that you don't miss the previous lessons information. Now, just to revise the last lesson. In lesson number 1, we covered the first letter here on the screen and the second letter. We said the first letter was letter Hamza or PT Hamza. PT means letter in Kurdish. PT Hamza, and it's pronounced as U, just like as in English. You call the letter A, but you pronounce it as U. It's also pronounced as U in Kurdish, but we call it letter Hamza. PT Hamza. The second one, as you can see on the screen, is letter Alif. PT Alif, or pronounced as A. Okay, as I said, we covered several examples of these in the previous lesson, so make sure you click on the first lesson if you have missed it, and you also watch that, and then maybe you can pause it and come back to this later. Now in this lesson, or lesson number 2, we're going to cover the third and the fourth letter, which are letter B and letter P, or in other words, the letter B, pronounced as B, and P, just like in English, P. In Kurdish, we pronounce it as P as well, and we call the letter, name of the letter is B and P. Okay? Okay, so how do we write the letter B in Kurdish? Well, if it's at the beginning of a word, we write it this way, like this, with a dot at the bottom of it. And if it's this is at the beginning and middle of a word. If it's at the end of a word, we basically close the end. We write it this way. Okay, this way. So beginning of a letter, beginning or middle, we will practice with some letters in a moment, with some words. At the beginning of a word, we write it this way. Okay, and beginning and middle, this was beginning and middle of a word. If it's at the end of a word, we write it this way. Okay, nice and easy. You just need to practice. Okay, now remember one thing. This is my handwriting. You might see it somewhere else like this. Okay, or like this, I don't know, like this. These are all B. Just like in English, you might write your B like this. I write mine like this. Somebody else will do this. I don't know, somebody else might do this. These are all B, okay? And these are all B2 in Kurdish, right? So refer back to the diagram I showed you at the beginning of this lesson, so that you know how the computer writes it and what the computerized version looks like. But after you've practiced, after a while, you'll be able to recognize this just like I do. It doesn't matter who's written it, how it's written, right? These are all B. Okay, so beginning of a letter, beginning or middle of a letter, right? Practice with me. Get your pen and paper. And end of a letter. And see, even mine varies a bit. I mean, no two B's are the same, right? See, this B is this way in English, I write that B that way, right? Not exactly identical. The same applies to Kurdish as well, just like any other language. Okay, so now let's look at a few examples, right? How do we write it? Now, it's time for you to learn some words, some vocabulary, some Kurdish vocabulary, as well as practice some writing. So let's see how we write, for example, high in Kurdish. High. Okay? Something is high. The building is very high. Well, we say baris. See, this is my B. That was my bizwen we covered in the previous lesson, right? So you need to refer back to the previous lesson if you really want to learn. And if you have missed the previous lesson, as I said, the link will be at the top of this video. Baris, this is R, this is Z. Do not worry about this at all, right? But you should know these by now. So baris, you see, I write it this time this way. This is also B. Beres. This is my natural handwriting. This was a bit sort of dramatized for you to see how it's written, right? So this is my natural handwriting. Beres. This is my B here and my Bizwen, which makes it B-A. So Beres in English, B-A-R-Z, or high in English, which is pronounced this way in Kurdish, or which we write it that way if we use the English alphabet, and we write it in proper Kurdish letters this way, Beres. Okay, Beres. B, my B, Bizwen, R, Z, right? I'll write it one more time for you. Beres. You see, even these two, this one and this one are not exactly identical, but that's how it is. You know, nobody can write anything exactly to be identical to something else they've written in the past, right? Or to a, second attempt of that letter. Okay, so that was Beres, as we said. Another letter would be Baran. We've also covered this, right? Baran. You see, we are making progress. This is my B. Let me get a different color, maybe, if I can. Yes, I think I did. This is my B that you should know by now, right? And this is my R, or Alif. R, again, we've covered in the first lesson. R, again, and Noon. We will cover Noon in the future, okay? So, Baran, this is actually a good example. Baran, B-A-B-R-R-N. Sorry, this is wrong. Right, that's correct now. Baran. Well, what does Baran mean? Baran means rain in English, okay? Baran in Kurdish, Baran. Or you could say Baran if you want to learn the English alphabet, just for you to, pick up with your vocabulary, while we also progress the written part of the language. Okay, so we had Beres, we have Baran, bro, go, bro, go. This is telling somebody to go, okay? If I tell you bro, it means go, you go, something like that, okay? Bro. Bro means something else, so it's bro, maybe double R here actually, bro, right? We will cover R in the future, we'll cover war in the future, but this is what we are concerned with at the moment, right? What else? Bochi. Bochi, who knows what this means? Why? Bochi? Bochi, okay? See? Right. Kebab. I'm sure most of you know what kebab is. I don't need to translate it. But this is also a good one. Kebab. Okay? This is just normal kebab in English, right? And then we have bebura. These are good words. Bebura. Bebura. Sorry, you will need these sometimes if you go to Kurdistan, okay, at some point. Bebura, or B, pronounced this way. B, maybe W-R-A. Bebura, okay? Maybe this is double W, actually, even in Kurdish. Bebura, Bash. Okay, Bash, fine, something like that. I don't know. Bash is fine. Which one is it? I think it's fine, or even okay, right? Fine, Bash. Now look at this. This is my B at the beginning of the letter. You see, I haven't closed the end of it, right? There is no closure here. It's connected to the wall. Kebab, this is nothing here. Kebab, my B, and then we've covered the R previously. Don't forget, okay? Kebab. See, at the end, how I have closed this? Kebab, right? B, ura. B, ba, okay? Bash. So that was our letter B. Pear, or our P in English. Oops, why is this red? P in English, okay? And this is how we write it in Kurdish. Basically, it is like the B, but with 3 dots at the bottom, okay? just like the B, the main body is like the B, but with 3 dots at the bottom. And again, if we want, this is at the beginning and middle of a letter. If it's at the end of a letter, which we will look at in a moment, again, just like the B, we close it, okay? And we have 3 dots at the bottom of it, right? 3 dots at the bottom of it, with 3 dots, okay? Now, I need to tell you something. I hope that doesn't confuse you, and don't let this to confuse you. These 3 dots are, this is how primary school kids learn, okay? This is how Kurdish children from the Iraqi Kurdistan learn when they learn how to read and write in primary school, okay? And this is how the computer actually writes it. In fact, the computer might do this, write it this way, right? It will write the dots in an opposite way. But don't let that confuse you, because I tell you what, the good news is you don't need to know whether it is this way or that way, right? Whether the 3 dots face down or up, or what is up or down. What you need to do is, the way we write it, usually grown-ups, that is, we just do this, okay, with that little thing at the bottom, right? So instead of the 3 dots, this is how we teach the kids, as I said, and I'm sure many of you are not kids, are grown-ups. I'm sure kids are also watching this video, which is completely fine. It's for both adults and kids. This is how we write it at the beginning. So whatever is easier for you, you can choose that, whether you choose this or choose that. But ultimately, if you connect these 3, you don't need to stop and do this 1, 2, 3 all the time, right? It's just much easier to do that. So this is how we do it. It's just the dots connected. All right, okay? So, p, okay? Beginning and end, sorry, this way, okay? Please refer back to the computerized version as well, so that you know how the computer writes it. I repeat for the 1000th time, this is my, well, nearly 1,000 maybe. This is my handwriting. Some other people might write it in different ways, okay? Different ways, but these are all P. Just like your P, B, and P in English, and I don't know, P in English, right? Different handwriting. So when you see these somewhere else written in a different way, don't panic. Don't think you've learned the wrong way. You haven't. It's just your writing and somebody else's. That's what the difference is, okay? Now, let's look at examples for the letter P. We've got the letter or the word pshila. P-sh-i-la. Again, don't worry about anything else. We will learn everything else in the future. What we've covered so far that you should know is this P and this bizwen, okay? Pshila. And the way we write this, or not the way we write it, what it means in English is cat, okay? Cat. Pshila. P-sh-i-la. Pshila. Okay? If we write it in the English alphabet, if we use the English alphabet to write it. Okay, that was cat or pshila. Then we have para. Pa-ra. You see, we are making progress. By now, you should know, as I said, both this and that, and this, in fact. Okay? So that was this is the first one. Oops. This is our P. This is our R. This is our R. And this is our bizwen. Okay? P, R, R, and our bizwen, or para. Para, which means money. Okay? Money, right? Okay, so let's see what is the next word. The next word will be papula. Pa-pu-la. Okay, papula. This is double U, in fact. Papula means butterfly. Butterfly. Papula. Pa-pu-la. Right? Let's separate our letters. This is my P. That's my bizwen. This is my P again. U, L, and bizwen again. Okay? I'll write that one more time for you. Pa, P, You see how I write the 3 dots here? Papula. Okay, butterfly. If we write it in English, it will be papula. Papula. All right. The next letter will be Piaz. In case you want to buy some Piaz one day in Kurdistan. Okay. Piaz. What does Piaz mean? Well, it means onion. Onion. Piaz. Don't worry about every the other letters. As I said, we will cover the rest of the letters in future lessons. What we've covered so far is this P and this R, pias, okay? Or onions, pias. Right, one more letter. Let's learn how to write par as well. Par, okay? Which means last year. Last year in Kurdish we have an entirely different, we have one single word, not entirely different, I mean one single word which means last year. So in Kurdish if we say par, you mean last year. In English I think they only use last year, like they use 2 words, right? Par. Okay, now again, this is my P, this is my R, and this is my R. P, R, R. Okay, so let's stop here and let's just recap to see what we've learned so far. Well, we learned in this lesson, we learned baris, which meant high. We learned baran, which meant rain. We learned bro, which meant go, as in telling someone to go. You go to bro. Okay, bro. We learned bochi, why. And then we have kebab, which meant obviously kebab. It can't mean something else. Kebab. And then that was for our letter B. Okay? Or B or B. Now for P, we learned Pshila, Pshila, which meant cat. Then we learned bro, which means cat, not meant. It still means cat, and it will mean cat forever, obviously. Then no, sorry, we did cover bro, right? Bro was for, come on, okay. Bro was for the letter B, or for PT bear. We learned, what else we learned? Para. Para meant money, we said, okay? And then we have, what else? Piaz. Did we do par? No. So 2 more words to go. We had piaz, which means onion. For those of you that like onion, in case you need to go to the market in Kurdistan to buy some piaz. And then we had par, which means last year. So if you tell somebody in Kurdistan, in Kurdish, if you tell somebody Kurdish that I was in Kurdistan last year, you say par من لکردستان بوم. Last year I was in Kurdistan. Okay, last year, right? Okay, so let's stop here. Thank you for watching, and if you found the channel useful, if you found the lesson useful, please subscribe to the channel and maybe give a like, thumbs up, or maybe leave a comment so that I know you've found it useful. All right, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, because lesson 3 will be uploaded soon. I will see you soon. Bye.